And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video, as always, going to be going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. That includes a Rangers expert on his take on Alfredo Morelos potentially making a sensational Rangers return. Yes, we'll get to that very soon. But of course, we are having a week period now. We have to wait around until Rangers are back in action. It's kind of getting to that end of the season now where we're not playing twice a week, which is fairly boring. I like to see us playing a lot, but in terms of the actual fatigue and stuff like that and having the players at their best, it is good for our title ambitions, despite our entertainment not really being satisfied during the week. However, as stated, there's always some stuff to talk about within the Rangers space, and let's start with this. Yes, Gary McAllister has insisted that the league title is the true barometer for success at Rangers. He said, I think the barometer is always to win the league. Winning trophies is really difficult, even for the big clubs. So when you win a trophy, it's always a good thing. I think the big clubs are always judged on the league titles. There is something about winning the league that is just another level. He was quizzed on whether the double or the cup double would still be evidence enough for Clement going in the right direction. He added, I think so, but deep down, everyone's behind the scenes, from the players to the management, staff, and the owners will be chasing to win the league. It brings back memories of when Stephen and our team came up south of the border. We were quite a bit behind Celtic and we were given a bit of a time, but winning the league was very key. We didn't have great success in the cups, but getting that title was the big thing. Again, I'd always think that the league title in any division is always the most important thing because it's the majority of the campaign. And whilst I do like the cups, as respect to the cups, I'd rather win a league title. I would rather win the league title every single year than win any cups ever. So the cups are great in terms of added bonuses. They're almost like a bit of icing on the cake. But my goodness me, winning the league is the most important thing. And would I look at our campaign as being a success if we won a cup double? Not the position that we're in, no. But maybe at the start of the campaign, looking in October, when Michael Beale was sort of dismissed, probably. But everything requires context. And whilst it is 2 added trophies to our trophy-laden history, the league is the one, just the manner of the circumstances, that's the most important. And obviously what you get for winning the league title is pretty evident with the Champions League money that comes along with it. So yeah, a very, very interesting one indeed. Now, getting to today's main story, guys, Alfredo Morelos. Now, look, I've brought Alfredo Morelos up to you a good few times. Obviously, you've been keeping you up to date with him. Now, Alfredo Morelos was a fan's favourite whilst he was at Rangers Football Club. He was a big player for us, a massive player for us, and probably one of my favourite players after James Tavernier, genuinely over the last few years, or certainly since the sort of coming back up from the leagues and stuff like that, and coming back into the Premiership. Alfredo Morelos has probably been up there, was one of my favourite players, a great player as well. Polarising sometimes, but a great player. And of course, obviously left Rangers at the expiry of his contract last year. It was reported that there was no contract offer on the table for Morelos. And of course, after a summer of kind of trying to sell himself, he ended up getting a big money move to Santos in terms of some big wages. But it did go Pete Tong for Morelos. Of course, they did get relegated in the first time in their history to the second division of Brazilian football. And Alfredo Morelos obviously did take a bit of a pay reduction, but still on £19,000 per week, which is still very, very good indeed for the Colombian. Now, obviously, going into this, Santos are trying to rebuild, trying to get back up the divisions, and their club president had came out stating that they are doing everything that they can to terminate Alfredo Morelos' contract. He is a part of the old regime, he was quoted, and Alfredo Morelos does not have a future at Santos. So it is a very, very good chance that he will be a free agent as we approach the summer. Now, of course, as always, like we heard about Ryan Kent, I think earlier in the season there was of course talks that we could go back in for Ryan Kent. It's kind of lazy journalism in a way that we're always going to be going back for these players. But Alfredo Morelos, people putting the 2 and 2 together, Rangers need some strikers. Alfredo Morelos is 3. Alfredo Morelos has got a history of scoring goals in this division and doing well for this football club. People putting the 2 and 2 together and creating this analogy that Alfredo Morelos would be good on his return. And whilst, again, I do think the chances are low, people have come out and spoke about it and gave their opinion. Now, Graham Dorrans, of course, a former Rangers player, spoke to Go Radio and stated, asked about a potential return, would you entertain it this summer? He said he's been there and done it. The last 3 or 4 months of his spell went downhill a bit, but it will be determined by if the manager has seen enough of him, if he sees him fit to bring him back in. He might have come in with his own players in mind, people want to bring in. In terms of Morelos and what he can bring, you've seen it before. Rangers are lacking players in the forward areas. You've got Desses coming in as the only real striker at this moment in time, with Ruth being out injured all of the time. It's definitely an area that needs improved and needs a number. If there's an opportunity to get him back, I think they should. Now, whilst I do think that's a very interesting take, I don't think Alfredo Morelos is the answer for this football club. Genuinely, I always keep on saying it. I would never go backwards. I don't like the idea of going backwards, and whilst he did have a great time at Rangers, the last year genuinely was a bit of a disgrace whilst he was at the football club, and whilst he could be a good option for free, I know I can see that, I can see people going, right, he's a free transfer, he's not going to cost Rangers anything. I still don't think, I think he's a bit of trouble, and he was a bit of a disgrace in that last year, and I don't think really we should be going backwards to get Alfredo Morelos. Despite his age, he's still fairly young, I think, what, 27, 28? He's still very, very young, and should be coming into his peak really as a centre forward and as a striker, but it's genuinely not the case. I think he's past his best, and Rangers should certainly be looking to try and be a bit more shrewd with their transfer business, try and bring in some more younger, hungry players, and look for the next Alfredo Morelos, rather than trying to bring back in Alfredo Morelos. It's clear as day we need strikers. It's clear as day we need forward reinforcements in the summer transfer window. But I want to see a bit more from Nils Cooper. I want to see a bit more of those Diamande styles, those Oscar Cortez kind of styles of signings. Not Fabio Silva, but Oscar Cortez, Diamande, those young, cheap, coming from a different sort of location than we shop in before, and then potentially getting them to be the next Alfredo Morelos. I think that's a really, really exciting prospect. But yeah, interesting. My opinion would be no, I would not take Alfredo Morelos back, but I know that fan base are kind of split on the opinion, especially the fact that it would cost absolutely nothing in terms of a transfer fee. So do let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think Philippe Clement could get the best out of an Alfredo Morelos? Do you reckon we could see an Alfredo Morelos redemption going into the summer now that he's potentially going to be a free transfer? As I stated, let me know your thoughts on the whole scenario down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or going to rfcclothing.com. We have got new designs coming out very, very soon, so keep your eyes peeled on the website. But thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.